Imagine the mobility and damage output of a power harbinger with the tankiness of a core necromancer. Oh yes, this Ritualist build is exactly that. PvP, Ritualist is a nightmare to fight against. You summon spirits, those immaterial spirits annoy the enemies like crazy, and you deal so much damage while having crazy mobility and sustain. This build is crazy good right now. So be sure to watch the whole video to not miss out a thing about how to play this build. I'm Summer, and as always, special shout out to all my dear supporters that help me keep the lights on. And now without much further ado, let's jump straight in. I did not come up with this build. Credits to all the crazy good theory crafting necromancers out there. I just seeing multiple people playing that, like Bell, Squall, all the others, and multiple people in ATs and ranked matches. So I just saw this build and I wanted to make a video about it. I don't claim that this is my own, just wanted to mention this here. I just want to promote and tell you how strong that is and how it works. And maybe if too many people play this, maybe it will also get a nerf. Want to mention this here as well. But now with this disclaimer out of the way, let's start with the gear. So for the gear, you want to run Demolisher Amulet to give some nice toughness to yourself. You could go Berserker or Marauder piece as well so that you scale your Shroud. But I think Demolisher makes a lot of sense so that you are a little bit higher in the effective HP because you have some toughness in there. You want to run Relic of the Centaur. It's amazing. You have a very short cast time healing skill and then you get stability with it. So more stability means less CC'd. That's good. That's a really good one. And for the rune, you want to have the passive movement speed of the Rune of the Lynx. The condition damage is almost useless, but the power damage helps and the movement speed is really, really good on this build. For weapons, you want to run Spear and Staff. Staff, you will see why this is so good. But in general, Staff is your defensive weapon set, so you want to have Cleansing and Energy on there. You can run Cleansing and Energy on your Spear as well, but I would recommend, or if you like that playstyle, to be more aggressive on the Spear. So I like to run Sigil of Exaltation and Sigil of Battle on that, so that you get even more damage when you swap to this aggressive weapon set. But this is just my preference. If this video isn't quite enough and you want to improve even faster, I've got something for you. It's called The Guild. And you might have heard about it, but it's a website completely focused on helping players get drastically better at World vs. World and PvP specifically, by learning directly from some of the best players out there, like Boys and Drosset. Here's what you get. Close to 100 long, in-depth guides and gameplay commentaries, with new ones added every week. You will also find complete lists of the current meta and top builds available for free, while the in-depth guides and matchups are part of their paid courses. They even include footage reviews packed with tips and tricks. And on top of that, the guild runs weekly and bi-weekly group sessions for both NA and AU, where members duel, practice and learn together. You'll also have round-the-clock support whenever you have questions, plus a constantly updated catalog of meta builds. Hundreds of members who've joined the paid courses are already seeing massive progress and insane value. So if you're serious about leveling up your game in Guild Wars 2, definitely check out the guild. Link is of course in the description down below. And big thanks to the guild for sponsoring this video. The traits are very interesting. You're playing Blood Magic, Soul Reaping and Ritualist. Let's start with Blood Magic because that's your lifeline, so to say. You get a lot of nice utility. When you dodge, you get a mark, and because of the transfusion trait that you take, this mark will give you vigor and gives some regen, applies some bleeding and gives you some life force with another trait and gives you some healing. That's really good. Also for allies, that's really, really good. And you will see that the Soul Reaping trait line helps a lot with those marks on top of that. So really, really good. Then you get some passive lifesteal also for your minions, which is good because you summon spirits and they count as minions. And that means just some nice passive healing and damage. And then passively some healing power, that's good, not that bad. And you don't lose health while you're in down state, okay, I guess, or your allies around you, that's okay, I guess, not crazy, but not bad either. Then you cast Lesser Signet of Vampirism when you inflict bleeding on a foe that already has at least 3 stacks of bleeding. Why is that good? Because this helps you to get some more damage, lifesteal damage out. And lifesteal damage is actually quite annoying to deal with. The other two are not that good. That's the best option, but it's not bad either. A little bit more damage in lifesteal. Then you get some passive lifesteal for you and your minions, for example, or for your allies around you. And this lifesteal can scale up over the course of time. It doesn't sound like much, but over the course of time you deal some damage with it, and of course you heal some nice. That's quite good. And like I said, transfusion empowers your symbols on staff, and that means that you get vigor, you get some heals, protection, Condi Cleanse, and some stability on the 5 skill. It's really, really good. And it's short lasting and it's very small healing nowadays, but it's better than nothing and it helps you to support your allies or yourself. It's really, really good in that regard. And especially like the vigor is not to be scoffed at because you also get that on the dodge. We will see why that's important, because in Soul Reaping, you have a trait here, Soul Marks, that also give you life force when you trigger a mark. And those symbols here, those marks, will be also unblockable. And that also applies to your dodge. That is really, really good. Also only works in combat, but still very, very good. Then passive, more life force gain. Then Shroud skills, recharge faster. And maximum life force is increased. Just a lot of useful utility there. Then you take more vitality, just to stay alive. And you get more healing. That's also good, of course. And you take Depth Perception, which is really, really good on this build, because you Enshroud quite often, and gain increased critical strike chance, just always good, and you get more critical strike damage while you're Enshroud, so you deal 15% more damage, almost, in Shroud. That is good, that is really, really good, and you deal a lot of damage in Shroud. Then you have Ritualist. Ritualist gives you access to a Ritualist Shroud. We cover the skills in a bit, but it is really powerful. It's a normal second health pool like Core Necromancer, plus the abilities of the spirits that you can summon. You get some more concentration and you get more life force when you summon a creature, which is really good because you have a lot of summons, and that means that you get some life source generation. I think this is one of the reasons why this build is a little bit overtuned, because you can stay in Shroud for so long, or at least regenerate life force very fast, because you summon minions very frequently. Then you have Charged Souls. Gain access to spirit innovation skills, allowing you to channel energy to your spirits for an additional effect. You will see what that means. And you get life force when you use an innovate skill. And those skills are really potent. So you get some really nice, really good boon output. You get some nice damage. Get some fear effect here. And you get stability also, which is really, really good also to allies. So keep that in mind. That's already the third ability that gives you stability, and you have another one. It's crazy how much stability you can have on Necromancer here. So you get, when you summon a creature, you get a damage buff for 5 seconds. And you deal some damage around the creature. That is not to be scoffed at, because you actually have so many summons at a single moment that you can actually get some nice burst with all the combos that you get here. We will go to the combos in a bit as well. Then you have some nice boons that you get. That means that you can give some quickness to your allies, also Might, Fury, and Resolution. Really, really good. Quickness is a very potent boon in all game modes, but in specifically PvP, you can make some nasty combos with it. And then you take Soul Twisting, which is really good. You will see this in a second, because the spirits, the first one you summon after entering Shroud, will be instantly recharged. So in the end, you can use it exactly twice directly in the beginning, I would say. Some of them are really, really good to use if you are pressured. Some of them are really, really good to use doubled if you just want to deal a lot of damage. So let's cover the skills now. Staff auto attack is horrible, but the 2, 3, 4, and 5 I mentioned already heal a lot, have nice utility. 3 is some nice chill and poison. If you blast this combo field, you get some weakness. This is a blast finisher, the 4 skill, and also cleanses condition. Transfers conditions, gives life force, and of course the 5 skill is some nice fear. And also all of them are unblockable and have some nice healing attached to them. You want to run the spear. The auto attack is quite potent. It actually gives you some nice soul shards, which you then can consume with your 2 skill to give some nice damage and some lifesteal. This is a very, very important attack to hit. Does a lot of damage, but it's quite short range. So don't expect to hit the enemies all the time with that. Just try to stick on the target. That's why the movement speed is so important. And then you have your 3 skill, very, very small range, but it is a nice these days, and also gives some nice immobilize and can have some additional modifiers depending on the shard's threshold. So it's a really good skill to hit, but it's not that easy. The 4th skill is the most important skill on the spear set, because this is a very nice unblockable long range throw of the spear. That unblockable part means that you can go through blocks, makes sense, but you can also go through reflects. That means that you can use that when there is a reflect up and teleport after you used it and hit it to the enemy for a short amount of time after that, which is really good. And if you teleport, it resets your 2 skill. So if you use your 2 skill, then hit this target here, and I can then teleport to it and then use the 2 skill instantly again. This is a very important combo that you will do all the time. So using your 2 skill into your 4 skill means that you can hit it very easily. Let me show that, because you don't have to use it as a reset. You can also use the 2 skill while you are actually already like in the flow, so to say, when you are flying or when you are teleporting. So you don't have to wait for the reset of hitting the enemy. That can be really good as well with the 5 skill, because it also has a cast time, and the 5 skill does some nice damage, gives some might, and removes some boons. So, and applies some weakness. If you do the 5 skill, cast is happening, and then teleport with the 4 skill, this can be some nasty AoE damage that you can put out. This is so Spear has a lot of combos, and the cool thing about the 4 skill is this even resets when you come out of Shroud. So if I hit this now, it has a cooldown. If I go in Shroud And Leaf Shroud, it will be off cooldown again, which is really good. So you can like use this to some nice combo potential. Spear is very nice combo driven weapon, really fun to use. For utility skills, you use your Resilient Weapon. It's really nice, gives some healing, also gives for some allies. It's a weapon spell, so you all the weapon skills will be shared around your allies. Will be a little bit weaker for them, but you give some nice sustain for them as well. And it's obviously some just passive healing and gives you stability because of your relic. You always want to take Spectral Walk. It's just a very broken skill. It's a stun break. Gives you swiftness and cleanses conditioned every 2 seconds, which will give you 4% life force for each condition that you cleanse, so you will sustain some life force there. And the cool part about the jukes is you can activate it, then can jump somewhere down, and then can teleport back up, and you use it to evade and just avoid damage or just juke people. Then the next one that you always have to take is Weapon of Remedy. It's a nice Condi cleanse and it heals you per Condi removed, and it is really, really potent also for allies. Really, really good. Instant cast, really, really nice. The last one is a little bit more flexible. You can go for Weapon Splinter for some nice additional AoE attack whenever you strike an enemy. That's really good. You can go for some nice lifesteal when you attack. That can be quite fun. Or you can go for Stun Break again with some nice blocks for free and also sharing for allies and some nice wounds. All of those weapon spells can be used. I'm not joking. All of them can be used. There are a lot of good utility skills on Necromancer. I don't want to cover all of them, but I think the weapon spells, because they are almost always very short cast time or no cast time, they are very, very important to use. And for the elite skill, I would always recommend to go for Sin-Raised Weapon. Sin-Raised Weapon looks complicated, but in the end, it's just like it's a stun break. It's shared with allies. It gives some stability. And when you get hit, it heals you if you don't die from it for the next 2 times. That's almost always the case. Yes, there is some health threshold and stuff like that. But in the end, it's more like if you get hit, the enemy hits you and it hits for more than 15% of your health, you get healed for that. Like you get some kind of healing there. That's about it. That's the thing. You get a little bit of healing, and the important part is the stun break and stability. That's the good part. And it's a really, really potent skill. It's by far the best option here. So let's cover the Shroud now. The Shroud is important because in the Shroud you can summon your spirits, and you can then use, when you have the spirits up, you can use the F2, F3, F4, depending on what kind of spirits you summon. So the corresponding spirit to the F2 would be the second skill in the Shroud, and so on. The third skill here gives some fear, the second one gives some boons and some damage, and the fourth skill gives some stability. The stability is probably the most important one, but it is a very long cooldown, so don't waste it in the short stability uptime. And in the Shroud itself, you get some damage reduction, because of course it's a Shroud. That means that you get less damage, while you also deal a lot of damage. The auto attack in Shroud is just some nice damage from range, which will also target the foe. So if you summon spirits, they will also be targeting their foe that you target with your auto attack. And second skill is a very nice damaging summon spirit. Does some nice flurry of attacks. You can see it's actually quite a lot of potent damage that you deal here. And the important part about this second skill is that you need to have a target. So you cannot use that without a target. The third skill is a nice AoE CC. That is a knockdown and applies some nasty conditions. If you hit that, it's probably like very, very annoying to deal with. It has an initial attack and then it has a Wanderlust attack as well. Both of them are really annoying to deal with. Really strong skill. And if you use F3 here, you get some nice fear on top of that. So you have a lot of CC chaining going on. The fourth skill is your healing skill, which is also giving some nice vigor and protection, and it cleanses conditions. And the important part is it can also heal you. Even though you're in Shroud, normally you cannot receive any healing. But the fourth skill in Shroud will also heal you in Shroud, which is really, really strong. So if you go in Shroud with half life, then use the healing skill, you get some nice healing from that as well. And the 5th skill is the most broken skill in Shroud, like ever, because Necromancer always has a little bit of a problem of being like too slow and not having any teleports. The 5th skill in Shroud is a teleport. Instant cast 900 range teleport. It will teleport your spirits with you, and it's just really, really strong. They will also do an attack that they will follow up when you teleport. It's really, really strong. That means that you get a nice daze, you get a flurry of attacks and stuff like that with your spirits that you have summoned earlier, teleport on the foe, and they will get CC'd, they will get damaged. If you do that, it's just so damaging. But you can also use it as a defensive tool to teleport away. As you can see in the background, really, really easy to play in like low-rated games, but even in high-rated games, this build is so strong that people can really outplay with this because it has so much damage. So easy to get into, high skill ceiling nonetheless. Really, really good build, really fun to play, a lot of combo potential. because you have so much potential with the staff to be like outplaying and having some sustain, and the spear with like resetting your 2 skill, resetting your 4 skill with coming out of Shroud. The Shroud itself has really good combo potential, for example, if you want to use your reset of your trait. So when you use your soul twisting trait, you get an instant recharge of your first summon that you do, so you can do that double casting a CC with the 3 skill, double casting your heal if you need a lot of healing, or even double casting your 2 skill for the most amount of damage. That is possible. And don't forget, you can also combo that with the teleport of the 5 skill to deal even more damage. So there is a lot of combo potential. I really like to use, for example, the CC so that I can set up my damage afterwards, but you can also use the 2 skill for a crazy amount of damage burst. And don't forget, you can also use your F skills, so F2 to F4, to even deal more damage. Especially the F1 can be really nasty, but if you lose the Wanderlust Innervate skill, you can get some CC with the 3 skill in the Shroud, then use the Innervate CC, and then you can follow up with another flurry of burst with the Anguish skill. There are so many combos. It's a very, very fun build to play, very flexible, very fast paced. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like. If you want to see more content like this, don't forget to subscribe. I hope to see you in the next video.